This is not the internet. This is the Metaverse. Hello, pioneers. Today I'm going to have a little talk about Metaverse, specifically Aikiu Metaverse that I've been trying to develop all over these years, ever since Brainstorm came about. And, with only 4 months left to the end of the year, things could be changing dramatically for me, and I might be able to actually get this thing done. So let's have a look at a bit at what's been going on. So we know all the pioneers that had KYC have all been pushed back to tentative, right? And I was included in this. This happened to pretty well everyone that I know. And you had to do liveness tests, and there's been debate about whether the password changes have been working or not. I've seen them work, I've seen them not work. I guess it's worth a try. But for me, it's been over a week and I still hadn't received any liveness checks, even though some of my referrals had. And I was still waiting, and then I saw some posts saying that come September, people were starting to get the green light on their KYC again, right? So I checked mine, and sure enough, no liveness tests, no additional checks of anything, and I've got my KYC passed again, right? So I don't have an explanation for that, but obviously I'm very, very thankful. Now, what does this mean, right? Well, for me, this means that in the coming months, we're going to have this second migration of our coins, right? So our node bonuses, our referral rewards, all this type of thing, right? So we're going to be getting these extra payments, right? And now I'm all cleared for that, right? So I don't expect any other problems with KYC for me. Right? Now, looking at my balance dashboard here, you can see that I've got nearly 15,000 pi that's still in my unverified balance, right? Now, obviously I'm not going to get that full amount, but what I'm expecting though is, because the majority of that I've mined through node rewards, and also pretty well through about sort of 5-6 key referrals that I've known for many, many years now. They're all personal friends of mine, and thankfully they've all passed KYC, and they're all been regularly mining every day, right? So for me, out of that 15,000, I'm kind of expecting a good 12,000 of that, right, to come in the second migration, right? So looking at my balance as well, right, currently I've got 8,000 pi in there, and with the 12,000 to come, right, I could very well have a balance of 20,000 pi, right? Now, we've seen, with newcomers and all that, and the mining rates and all that, compared to everyone else, that's quite a lot of pi, because, we've seen wallets getting migrated with 100 pi, 200 pi, and certainly not many above 1,000 pi, right? So, being a long-term miner, I've done quite well out of this. Now, out of this 20,000, I still have about 4,000 locked up, but, my 3-year lockup comes to an end in April 25th, right? So that's not too long away. And looking back on this, I remember 3 years ago, trying to decide whether I would lock up or not, because it was kind of a bit of a gamble, because, if Open Mainnet came before the 3 years, you kind of want to have access to your balance. But at the time, it was quite an attractive mining rate. I thought it was well worth the punt. And to be honest, when I saw PyCore team offering a 3-year lockup, to me that kind of said that we're probably 3 years away from Open Mainnet. And looking back, it's turned out to be true. So it ended up being the perfect decision. Now, just on the last weekend, I did a podcast a Twitter Spaces with Woody. A long-term friend of mine. We've done a number of these spaces before. We had the co-host of Pi Podcast, and some invited guests were the Pi In guys, right? The mem coin that's on BTC. Now we had 60,000 people tune in on this, right? Which was fantastic, But it got me thinking, of like, well, there's really only another 4 months left before we're supposed to be getting open mainnet, and maybe I should really rethink about where I'm sitting with development of the metaverse, right? Because there's obviously a big audience out there that's ready for our projects to be developed. Now, over the years, and this is just an example, I've been applying to so many VCs, I've probably, somewhere between probably 70 to 100 VCs I've applied to, and I haven't really had any luck, so one of the people recently that I did speak to, though, just to give you an example, that I'm talking to everyone, Palantir, buddy, you name it. If you're a VC, I've tried to contact you. And this Roxana, I've had quite a few discussions with her through email. She's a former developer, strategy and metaverse content apps at Meta, right? So, we're talking to some pretty powerful people here who've been involved in the industry, but with Pi in its infancy and, the old myth of enclosed mainnet, they're really just not willing to take a punt on any Pi projects yet, right? Which is, it's really, really a shame, because we've wasted all this time where we could be developing. Now, with my 20,000 Pi though, right, well, things could be changing very, very soon for me, right? Because maybe I don't need to have VC, cash injection, right? If we can get these Pi coins to be worth something, right, now I can do my own development, right? So what I've got here is, you see the current IOU price, it's $32, right? So that price, I could be looking at, nearly $700,000 US, right? Now, this is ample money to be doing startup, ample startup funds for me to start doing development all by myself, right? Which is ideal for me, because then I don't have to worry about any VCs, having their input. But at all-time highs, just on this chart, which was $121, right? You see, we started to get some pretty large numbers here, $2.5 million, right? And we get this type of cash access, right? Well, development becomes really, really easy at these prices. And some other exchanges, I've seen up to like $314, right? So, this price speculation, we've all done it. We don't know what we're going to be getting. Maybe it comes out at $10, who knows, right? But to be honest, I'm expecting a pretty healthy number for my Pi. And, if all goes well, then, hopefully I can do all this development myself. So let's go back into the history of Pi a little bit here. Back in August of 2021, we had Brainstorm start. And with the start of Brainstorm, I thought, well, I'll participate and I'll put some apps in. And so I did a lot of proof of concept, for things like, the Maroon Lounge here and, oracles, AI, Pi exchanges, all sorts of things, swaps. And, I really had a lot of fun doing this, and it was a really, really exciting time. But by the time September rolled around, I was thinking, well, let's go a bit more aggressive on this, right? And let's put these into something. And, I was really, really keen on all this metaverse stuff, right? So for me, I thought, well, metaverse on Pi. That's just ideal, isn't it? So, I went ahead and started to do proof of concept of what Metaverse might look on the Pi network, right? Using these SIMPET technologies and, all these different types of Metaverse within there. And, and this is the full web page here. And you can see here, how I was playing with things like, the time travel stuff I always talk about. So this was great, because Metaverse was a real niche type thing. There was a few little things that were around, but not many people were doing Metaverse. So I really thought I was onto something here. And that was until October 2021 came around and Facebook decided to put their hand up for Metaverse, right? Now, all of a sudden, everyone knew about Metaverse, right? And because it was associated with Facebook, it kind of got tarnished as well. So people weren't really keen about it so much. And to be honest, when Facebook released their Metaverse, what they thought it should look like, it was really, really subpar. It wasn't really very good at all, and certainly not the quality that I was trying to achieve. Right, so ever since then, I was sort of working away in a nice little niche segment, which I thought I might be able to get attraction on. To now, everyone wanted to do Metaverse, didn't they? But thankfully, since then, people think it's not really anything. But I can tell you though, in the future, Metaverse is going to be the new interface, right? And this is why I say, this is not the internet anymore, right? Because Metaverse is going to, it's not going to so much replace the internet, it's going to be the new interface for the internet, right? So we're going to go from 2D interface to a 3D interface, right? And everything's going to be conducted in it, business and all this. And right now where we sit is right at the cusp of where we were in back in say 92, right? When Bill Gates is saying that how everyone's going to have a computer on their desktop, and everyone's going to be on the internet, right? And everyone was laughing at him, right? We're at the same point here with Metaverse, right? Metaverse is now going to incorporate Web 3.0, blockchain, 3D, right? It's going to be the brand new interface, right? So it is the future. Now, I've made some videos. I've done a pitch deck, right, previously, video on that. I've done videos on time travel, which is stuff that I'm really, really excited about. This is really great. This is where we're doing digital twins. You can do things for universities and all this. Now the time travel, it's in a virtual environment, right? So anything's possible there, right? So when you make digital twins of things, right, now you can actually go back to previous world events, right? So it's a kind of time travel, right, in a virtual space, right? So that's going to be really, really exciting to develop. Right? This is just a quick look at the pitch deck that I had out there, right? I'm not really going through any of this. I'm not trying to convince you because, like I said, I'm going to be doing this myself, right? So, this is just giving you a little refresher on where I'm at. Now, the first thing for me, right, so hopefully I'm sort of planning now for January, right? So it's still not up to me. It's up to PyCore team whether we get the open mainnet. Depends on how much value we get and all that. But as it stands right now, I'm trying to work towards January as a kickoff, right? So first thing I need to do is work out where I'm going to be headquartered, right? So these are the places that I've always had in my mind of, be good places to do. I've got my preferences, right? It's because some places are more expensive than others. Some have better technologies and all that. I've worked in places like Cyberjaya in Malaysia before. I've lived in Thailand, a lot of these places I've been to before. So, I haven't really decided, but I do have my preferences of where that goes. So as we sort of come across these upcoming months, I might do some more videos on Metaverse and, slowly trickle some more information out to you. So, this is what this whole video is about, really. It's just to tell you where I'm at, what I'm sort of hoping for the future, and, get everyone excited about Metaverse again. So, January 2025, right? What do I need to do? Right, so I need to select my HQ location. I need to establish a development company, hire initial staff, right? This will depend on, the value of Pi. Obviously, more value of Pi, the more staff I can hire. But at bare bones, though, I probably only need about 4 or 5 people initially, right, for the first 12 months, right? But I would like more than that. I want to launch a website. I'm going to do a pre-sale of Metaverse Access, right? This isn't tokens, right? This is pure sale of Metaverse itself and access into it. So hopefully we can do a pre-sale on that. And then sometime during the year, I'm going to mint Metaverse tokens, right? So the first 5 is what I'm trying to achieve in, say, the first 1 or 2 months, right? So this is just a rough plan and where I'm hoping to get to. So that's it, right? So I'm trying to get myself excited. I'm trying to get you excited again for Metaverse and, with the upcoming open mainnet, that we're actually going to be able to start developing these things because we're going to have capital to be able to do these things. I've always said that, this myth of enclosed mainnet has done the exact opposite of what it's supposed to be doing, right? And you've seen the projects over the years. We've had so many ones from Brainstorm, even Brainstorm winners. They just don't exist anymore, right? People just didn't have the capital. And if you only look at Pi Network itself, right, they pay their developers $190,000 a year, right? They're not doing things for free, right? They're well financed, right? And you have to be. You'd have to be able to pay your staff, right? People have bills to pay. So the whole thing is optimistic. I think things are really going to be great. I'm hoping for a really good value of Pi. And hopefully January 2025 is when Metaverse can really get kicked off. All right, so that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you later.